So every once in a while, someone comes to me for a reading because they want to fool themselves.
That's unexpected. I must say, you fight well.
Now put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Good afternoon, this is Lucky Links. Now, it's not that they want to fool themselves because they want to be malicious or because they're necessarily lying. It usually goes something like this, though they don't say it this way. I want to figure out how to be happy while shoving myself into a system that doesn't work, that's broken, that keeps me miserable, and makes me depressed and feel alienated from myself. They'll come for a reading and they'll hope that something that I say or something that's in the cards will help them find the right job, the right boyfriend or girlfriend, the right way to deal with a family that's dismissing them, the right way to live in a town they don't want to live in. And basically what they say is, how do I shove myself into what everyone else is telling me that I'm supposed to be, and shove myself into a system that actually makes me unhealthy, makes me unhappy, and do it in a way that I can be happy and fulfilled. There was a time there where I had a bunch of folks telling me, am I on the right path? And they were all selling insurance. And I started saying to them, do you think that it's anyone's path in the world to sell insurance? Now, that's not to dismiss selling insurance. That's not to say that insurance is a bad thing. That's not to say that anyone shouldn't do it. But when it came to actually making their hearts sing, not one of those people who was doing very well in the business felt like that really was their purpose. So people come and they say, what do the cards say? If I do this, am I going to be happy? Is this the right way? Is this the path? First thing I usually say is, are you living by your values? And in most cases, people don't even know what their own values are. The second place that I look is whether or not they're living by their core archetype, who they really are in their heart, and if that archetype is lining up with everything else in their lives. And in these cases, what I usually find is that there's some motivating forces in their life that they've really confused, and they're using in a way that doesn't necessarily bring them fulfillment. Because, let's face it, fulfillment isn't really emphasized these days. When you go to school these days, the emphasis is on getting a job, right? Not being fulfilled. When you're growing up and your parents are telling you that you got to go out there, it's rare, it happens, I know, but it's rare that a parent says, hey, the most important thing is that you be fulfilled. When people are looking at relationships, they're looking at, is this going to bring me security? Is this the one? They're not saying, hey, am I going to be fulfilled in interacting with this person on a day-to-day basis? Is what I do with my life, is what I research and learn about, is what I do for entertainment, is what I do to express myself, is what I do to keep my health, is that going to make me feel fulfilled? How many people actually ask that question? It surprises me, because I think that these questions are really important to ask. There's another set of questions that I think are really important to ask too that I'm going to do in another video, but right now I want you to think about something. There's people out there who like to collect things. They like to gather things up and collect them. And then what happens is they have this big, huge collection that they're hoarding, and in the end they find that they're being overloaded with stuff. Maybe that motivating force isn't about you owning all of this stuff. I see this with people with tarot decks all the time, or people with crystals, or people with... Maybe it's not about you owning all of this. Maybe it's about you gathering this stuff up because your purpose is to make sure that something bigger has these resources so it can make an impact and provide for the world. So maybe that impulse you have to go out and buy all that stuff, no matter what it is, if it's furniture, if it's books, or it's what, maybe what you're supposed to really be doing is using that motivating force to provide that stuff for something bigger that could create something in society that helps people feel more connected to themselves. Those of you who like to travel, but like change, Maybe what you're supposed to be doing is exploring new places and getting out of your comfort zone and making sure that you help other people to get through rough periods or to not stay stuck. Maybe that desire for change means that you have it in you to take a much bigger risk that most people don't even think about ever taking in their lives. Those of you who are motivated by your families, maybe you have a skill for actually creating a larger network of people who actually could do something in the world that makes a bigger difference than everyone hiding in their house with their own little tiny family. Maybe those of you who like to eat, maybe you're hungry for something that you're not getting. Maybe the fact that you're motivated by food and it seems to be such a big part of your life. And I see this a lot with folks. They're motivated and they want to eat and it's the be all end all of their life. Well, maybe that's not what you're really hungry for. Maybe you're hungry for something with much more depth, and when you find it, you don't even think about it. Because I guarantee you, those of you who love and have that motivating thing that drives you to eat, I guarantee you when you're doing something you really love, there have been times in your life when doing that thing that makes your heart sing, you totally forget to eat, you don't care. Those of you who have a curiosity, they're driven by curiosity. Maybe, just maybe, you're supposed to discover something that other people aren't discovering. These are just few of the big motivating forces that are in people's life. There's several of them that run through all of us, and there's 6 archetypes that run through us at our core. Each one of us is one of those 6. And people don't even know what motivates them. They don't even know who they're alienated from their archetypal force, their archetype, their core archetype, the archetype that really is who they are at their core. And we get confused, and we turn these things against us, and then we say, well, how can I survive in a system that's run by big corporations and pill companies and gas, petroleum companies and power companies? They don't really care one way or another if we ever are happy. And if you doubt what I say, and if you think what I say is really dark, try not paying your power bill and see how much they care whether or not you freeze in the middle of winter. We sometimes come to a spiritual path and we ask it, or a spiritual tool in the case of the tarot, and we ask it, show me how to be happy within the thing that's destroying me. I used to see that when I was teaching. I used to see kids coming in with all this passion, all this desire to learn things, all this desire to explore. And the college started saying, no, you got to get a job. Don't take that class. Take this one. It's all about getting a job. It made me think, what are we really doing? And how much are we asking? What would make me fulfilled? How much are we using our motivating, driving forces? How much are we using our core self, if we even know what it is, to make a bigger difference in the world? If you're looking for fulfillment, you're trying to find a way to fulfill yourself while staying stuck in a system that's designed to make people unfulfilled, it's time to start to ask yourself some really hard questions. People come to me sometimes and they say, show me how to be happy and fulfilled. Show me how to trick myself into believing this is all for my good. Show me how to do this all without having to take a risk or do anything uncomfortable. Show me what the cards say will make me happy. What's my destiny? What's my purpose? I don't like those questions because quite often when you look people in the face and you tell them, your destiny is not to do this tiny little thing, this tiny little job that everyone thinks is so important. But what are we going to do? How are we going to make money? That's a problem too, isn't it? Because the people who are motivating us to run after these things, they're not necessarily concerned about whether or not we're ever fulfilled. This may sound a little shocking and a little rebellious, but I learned a long time ago in my own life that a job doesn't make you happy. Another person doesn't make you happy. These things that are at your core of who you are, they can make you happy if you know how to use them. They can make you happy if you plug them into something bigger. They can make you happy and fulfilled if you acknowledge who you really are and stop running for yourself. I'm Lucky Links, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. If you'd like to get a reading from me, 779-302-8009 is how you do it. And if you would like to take a class in how to read the tarot, I have a beginning one coming up in July, the beginning of July. I am going to be adding people to that group pretty soon with a quick video that I'm going to do on how to choose a deck. And a lot of people have signed up for that one already. I'm real excited about this one. I'm going to kind of go after the storyteller's perspective on that one. For example, boy meets girl, or boy meets boy, or girl meets girl, or whatever. And what is this one? And there is problem in their minds. And if you take that forward and start to look at what the story is telling you and what the story potentials are, you can start to act like an author of your own life and start to shift things, and it's very exciting. So, I have a tarot course, an intermediate to advanced tarot course as well, for those of you who'd like some unusual approaches to the tarot. I also have a Mexican Loteria class that's super fun, and that the people in that class are really enjoying. A crystal ball class that will get you off the cards and into your own intuition a lot more. I have one on playing cards, and I have two on Lenormand, a basic and Grand Tableau Lenormand class. And for those of you who like these videos and want to donate to help keep them coming, I thank all of those who have done it so far. Thank you so much. But if you would like to donate, I'll put my PayPal and my Venmo below. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about the retreat that's coming up, I've mentioned it in several videos, and I've mentioned it on my site. There is a retreat coming up here in Northern California. His Holiness Padma Gampo Rinpoche, my master, I have been his student for 12 years. He is going to be building a temple in Northern California devoted to Tibetan Bon. The path that he teaches actually helps you to awaken the very things that I'm talking about, helps you find who you are at your core, who you are really, and what really brings you fulfillment, what awakens compassion in you, what awakens your purpose and your connection to something much bigger in the world. He's doing a retreat here. It's called the Dark Waters Retreat, and it will be going on for a week, August 3rd through the 10th. If you'd like more information about it, I'll put the link below to the video that I did on that, and you can connect to that video, look at it, and then you could contact him. So the retreat's going on, and all the money that goes from that retreat will be going to building the center. I'm so excited because His Holiness has been talking to me about some of the things that are going to be going on at the center, and it is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. You have never seen anything like this, I guarantee you. So I'm so excited and happy for that, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to reading for you, or for having you in a class. If you can't make the retreat, or you're not interested, but you still want a reading, you still want to take a class, I can set you up. I'm, again, Lucky Links, as always, wishing you success and good fortune in all that you do. Remember, there's something in here, and there's something in there, and they want to get out.